Hey guys, this is Tagene Brown-McBean from Money Coaching Services, and today I'm going to talk to you about my financial journey. So, my journey started at Bank of Nova Scotia in 1995. So, after leaving high school, I started working at BNS Highgate branch. So, in that period, I was just doing the regular banking work, not really concerned about finances. And at the time, I was still living with my parents. So it was after when I left Highgate branch and came to BNS New Kingston that things really started to change financially, because now I am in Kingston, and when you compare the expenses, Kingston is more expensive to St. Mary. St. Mary is mostly a rural parish, and overall things are generally cheaper. In Kingston, however, I'm now at the center of it all, where everyone wants to be in Kingston to be close to banking, close to the corporate events and corporate happenings, and building their connections. So I came to Kingston because I wanted to get more exposure in banking to be able to increase my financial awareness. And also, I thought that being in St. Mary did not provide enough schooling and opportunities for me for growth. All right. So in the first 5 years of being in banking, I had no savings, people, nothing. I was living paycheck to paycheck, right? And paycheck to paycheck living is when you spend most of your money, and by the time the last week before payday, you have just enough money to probably bring you to work. You can't go anywhere. Nobody can invite you anywhere. Well, in my case, nobody could invite me anywhere, and I could go, especially if I had to pay. And I kind of reflected on myself and said, boy, Tagene, that don't make no sense. So I started to really, here is where I really started to deeply budget. I was budgeting before, but what used to happen is that you might know that there are basically three categories of spenders, right? You have persons who, when they're spending or they do their budget, they have surplus. So those are the people who normally have their savings. Then you have people, which I call the paycheck to paycheck people, the ones who spend all of their money, right? No savings. And then there is the last set of people who they are normally spending more than they earn. So those would be the persons who are overwhelmed with loans and credit cards and inconsistent with paying those. All right. So I was in the middle, paycheck to paycheck, which a lot of persons find themselves right there in the middle, in between saving and not being able to pay their bills on a consistent basis. And I said to myself that this is not where I want to be, because at that time I never have children yet. I must say, but you can't even take care of yourself, because if you have no savings, how are you going to build a family? So I started to save, but I send my money back to St. Mary. So no cards on the account because I didn't want access to them. First of all, money management is about you and me knowing yourself, knowing your limitations. And I also wrote that in my book, Money Moves That Matter, Simple Steps to Become Debt-Free. Chapter 1 is Know Thyself. All right. So started setting up salary, not salary deduction, standing order where the money was withdrawn from my account, my salary account, and sent to St. Mary to create a savings / emergency fund. All right. And by doing that now, I was building up that security, that net, in case anything happened that I would not have to be stressing people. All right. So basically, after doing that, started having kids, getting promotion, and one big promotion I got, basically almost double my salary. And at that point, I said, the first thing I said is, oh, I could buy this and I can buy that. And, you know, I started to get happy and seeing all the things that I don't have, and which is what most people do. But the truth is, it is the wrong mindset, especially if you have loans. So in my case, I had already qualified for a mortgage and I got my mortgage in we actually moved in August 2001, but we started paying the mortgage November. So the actual payment came out November 2001, right? So what happened is that, all right, so we're paying the mortgage, we're good with that. So when I got the promotion now, I was saying, what am I going to do with the promotion? And it's like a spirit said to me, you're going to pay off your debt. Because in the back of my mind, I was already planning to leave the bank. And I did not want to leave the bank with any loans and credit cards and so on. I wanted to leave debt-free. All right. So I started to do some research and some calculation. Before I actually qualified for the mortgage, I saw a client who he had a $25 million mortgage and he paid off his mortgage in 7 years. And I looked at it and I said, okay. I looked at the history print, people, any loans you have, car loan, mortgage, could have be a loan for a bicycle. Take a history print to see how much of your money that you're paying each month, how much is going to principal and how much is going to interest. When you can see how the money is being split, then it gives you a better gauge to see how should you be restructuring your repayment plan so that it works in your best interest. And your best interest is to pay off a loan quickly if it is consuming too much dollar value as it relates to interest. All right. So I did the same thing. I took a print of my mortgage. Some of you, well, most of you who have mortgages, you might see a tendency where the banks might split the mortgage into tiers, like the first million is at X% and the next 3 million or whatever portion is at another percentage. So that's the same thing that happened to me. It was in 3 different tiers. So when I took the print for the 3 different tiers, I saw where too much money was going to interest. And from there, I started to create a plan of paying off the mortgage. So I look at the banking system and I said, okay, if I pay X amount, how will it affect the loan? So now I'm doing my little experiment. And when I paid extra to the mortgage, I would now look at the banking system and look at the print, look at how much interest charge, all of these things, and then make a note. From there, I created an Excel. I started creating an Excel spreadsheet. I reached about 3 years in calculation, and then I said, no, man, I must find a better way to do this. So I went on the internet, I searched the internet for amortization. And this is the calculation that is used for loans calculated on a fixed interest rate. So you can see how much, if you were supposed to pay extra, say you're gonna pay extra once per year, like every December when you get a lot of money, you're gonna pay extra to the mortgage. Then what would happen is that the calculation will show you exactly what the end result would look like. So there's no guessing, there's no spelling. Like I tell some people that with generational wealth is the same thing. These things can be calculated if you are using a mortgage as the medium where you're going to do your aim is to create some form of generational wealth, if that is the avenue you're going to use. All right. So my plan was to get the first mortgage paid off, get another mortgage, move back to Kingston, and also buy a house for my first son and a house for my second son. So some people are saying, why you want to buy so much house? Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm a house person, not a car person. Me like assets. And when you have an asset, it is easier for you to take a liability against the asset and still be able to create wealth quickly than if you were going to buy the house separate and then buy the car separate and then buy everything separate. It actually costs you more. Anyway, so with buying the first house paid off, that would be rented out. The second house, that I would pay that off quickly as well. And the third house and the fourth house, which would be for my 2 sons, they would rent to own. All right. So that is the type of mindset I have as it relates to money management. And there are other things that I have done, like we have done using the foreign exchange and the line of credit for us to be able to leverage the devaluation of the Jamaican dollar. So we have gained significant benefits from doing that, which I teach my clients how they can basically get free money as a result of the difference between the foreign currency and the devaluation of the Jamaican dollar, right? And my strategy has seen a result exceeding 7 figures. Now, I won't go into the detail as to how much that was, but it was an experiment that I did because I've realized that every time we reached close to saving $1 million, it always go back down. And I'm saying, no, 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 no. I need to find something that the money keeps growing. The up, I want to go up. So that is why this strategy came up, where I came up with the idea of using a line of credit and a US dollar term deposit, use them together. So we use the term deposit, US dollar, as the security. In the banking world, we call it hypothecation, to secure the line of credit. So what would happen is that we could use the line of credit while saving in US dollars and still gain from the devaluation of the US dollar and still have access to our money. So the term deposit is used as an asset, and the line of credit is a liability, which we secure the liability with the term deposit. All right. So we were using our money to secure the line of credit. So if anything happened, the money is there in the USD account for everything to be paid off. So there was no risk. But what happened is that persons don't understand money to the point where they'll be able to do something like this. So that is why I offer specialized coaching to help persons to recreate things like this so that their generational wealth process is something that they can follow step by step, step 1, step 2, step 3, not, oh, see generational wealth up there like it's a cloud in the sky, foolishness. A lot of people talking about generational wealth and they cannot show you step by step. Step 1, you do this. Step 2, you do this. They cannot show you the steps to reach to the goal. And when you say generational wealth, I consider that most people, when they are making their financial goals, they do not quantify it. You have to quantify your financial goals, right? You have to quantify it. So if it's 100 million is what you call generational wealth, you being able to have an asset or assets value in that, then that is the point that I would work with the clients to get them to the end goal. But you must have a goal, and the goal must have a number. So that is it. I started the business with the idea or the concept to bring people out of debt, help them conquer debt, pay off loans and credit cards so that money could be freed up to create their emergency fund, and then from creating the emergency fund to start investing. A lot of people talking about investing. I want to be rich, but what are you going to invest if all of your money tied up in debt? So it's not practical. So in the last 3 years, I've had some financial setback because I was going through a divorce process. Now, normally, I am what you call it now? I'm a very frugal and not frugal to the sense of penny pinching. I've never been that. But in the sense that if I wanted to do anything, I would run the numbers through the budget, right? I'd always create a plan first. But psychologically, I wasn't there. Psychologically, all I wanted to do was stay home and watch TV. And if I never had to carry the kids to school or to look for dinner or anything like that, I was full blown. People, you watch TV and somebody depressed and you say them just a watch TV and them covered on the settee and them not doing anything, them hair no comb, the teeth no brush. That was me. That was absolutely me. So that experience was very challenging. And what most people might not be aware of is that sometimes your finances are a reflection of what is happening in your life. So some people, you're trying to fix the finances, but in truth and in fact, it's not the finances, it's the problem. The problem is your environment. Your environment might not be conducive to you having a healthy mental state. And if your mind is right, or if your mind is not right, rather, then your money cannot be right. So sometimes we have a issue with relationships, and because of those relationships, it is negatively impacting our money and the way we use it. So I had maxed out credit cards. Scotia, NCB was JN maxed out, fully maxed out. And I basically went on a spending spree. Well, actually, one time I was shopping and I remember saying to myself, Tagene, I think you're spending too much. And then I answered myself and I said, who cares? Who cares? So I don't know if you understand. Sometimes I go through some things and the mind just says, listen, man, leave me alone, let me do what I want to do. It could be worse than this and spending a little money. So now I am rebuilding my empire because I told some persons when I was just starting out that, listen, I have great plans for my life, right? I have great plans for my life, and now I am not taking on any distraction. Family, friend, co-worker, client, if you're a problem, you're going to stay to yourself because I am not wasting any more time on anything that is not pushing my life forward. The only two people that can get away with anything is Alex and Mark, which are my sons. Outside of that, I don't have the tolerance or the time. So that's where I am now financially, right? Putting the pieces back together to get back to the financially focused Tagene, and just letting you know, things happen. Things happen, things will happen, right? So don't beat yourself up because things have happened. I am here to walk you through the process of now that things have happened, what are we going to do next, right? So forgive yourself and take a journey with me, and let's rebuild together. All right. So this is Tagene, your money coach from Money Coaching Services. And if you'd want to work with me, I'm going to put the link in the description of how you can do a one-to-one session. Now, my one-to-one sessions are not for everyone, right? If you're a minimum wage earner, I'm sorry, but you do not earn enough to qualify for money management, in my view, because when I'm giving the recommendations, you will not be able to put them in place. So increase your income. Most of my clients earn at least, so the minimum income I have now for my clients is 300,000 Jamaican dollars, or the equivalent in US dollars. So I'm now taking clients from other countries, right? And I can charge in US dollars because I have PayPal from long time. My PayPal is about 20 years. That's how long I've been using PayPal, but just for shopping at the time. But no, yeah. So if you want to, so our service at Money Coaching Services covers debt management, because that's where a lot of people have the problem. So budgeting and debt management, then we clear up some of those debt. You don't have to pay off everything. There are different levels to debt. So once you're at the level that is considered okay, then we'd move to the next level, which is fixing your savings plans and making sure you have enough in your emergency fund. And then from emergency fund, we start working on investing, buying assets, all of these things, thinking about what your retirement is supposed to be like. Do you have enough funding for your life insurance and critical illness? All of these things that you need to protect against so that it does not erode your money. You understand? And it provides the lifestyle that you want. Young and broke is where it should stay. Old and broke, that not where. So none of my clients should be old and broke, right? You go through a session with me. Another thing, you have to be coachable. So separate and apart from you being able to qualify based on your income, you also have to qualify based on being coachable. You have some persons, they want you, or rather me, to tell them what they want to hear to fix their problem. But that sounds like they don't need a coach. That sounds like they need themselves. So if you have that type of mindset, I am not your coach. I am not the one for you. We are not a match. Because when you don't get your results, I know my name ever call. It's serious. Because my reputation is more important to me than the money. Go somewhere else. There are other coaches. I can refer you to other coaches. I see other coaches popping up in Jamaica that, yeah, I can just send you their details, but I'm not the coach. If you come and you have debt and you want to work out how to improve your situation, you must follow my recommendations. And if you know you're the type of person you don't like to be told what to do, don't come. Don't come. Don't waste your time and mine. Don't come. There are people out there that they are eager to find someone who is going to give them step-by-step guidance to reach their goal. And if you are one of those persons who believe that you had a problem for the last, say, 10 years of your life and one coaching session is going to fix it, don't come. You are not my client. I don't care how much you earn. If you are not coachable, you are not my client. If you expect overnight success for a problem you have had for the last decade or last 5 years and expect it to fix with one session, do not come. I am not your coach. So when I tell some clients that there are persons that are not my clients, they say, Tagene, really? You have persons that you turn up? I say, yes. Yes, because what is going to happen, I'm going to be extending this effort into creating a plan that they are not using. And when they don't get the results, they don't blame themselves. They blame me. So don't come. Do not come. I'm serious. There are other persons. I've had clients that, listen, they are a dream to work with. You understand me? I say A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and they have done everything. And they have gotten the results. Right? They come back for another session. I show them a roadmap for what their life is going to look like. So now they did a session and now they paid for a whole 12-month session, right? And I'm now mapping out what we'd cover over the 12 months or what the roadmap would look like. And because they followed the previous instruction, now the setbacks they would have had or the challenges, those things are out of the way, making it them able to see clearly how they'll be able to save almost $3 million in a year, $3 million in 1 year, and they have a mortgage, a first mortgage, that based on what I've showed them, they would be able to pay off the mortgage in less than 5 years and qualify for another house. So these are the results I want for my clients. I am not for the people who are not serious, where you like to hear that money management and wealth creation, it makes you feel good. Feel good. I only work with winners. Winners take action. Winners are not about instant gratification, right? It's about sacrifice. And if you have no intention to sacrifice and you believe that spending the money is enough, it's not me as your coach. It's not Tagene you want, because I'm too straightforward for you. And I want my testimonials. So what kind of testimonial am I going to get for my business when you are not following the coaching? You see what I mean? So you're not an asset to my business. You're a liability. I said it. I said it, sugar. I did say it. What does that mean? Follow the recommendations. If you come, you have debt, and debt is to be paid off, follow the recommendation and get it done. If not, then find another coach. I am not your coach. My clients are winners. My clients follow the instructions, they get the results. And if anything changes along the way, I'm also there for my clients to facilitate them in adjusting whatever roadmap I've given to them. Right? Everything is clear and simple to see. One of my clients, I was joking with him. I said, by the time I finish with you, you're supposed to can buy a Porsche. And when they we are laughed down the place because in my sessions, right, a lot of clients say to me that when they're in the session, they feel like they're talking to a good friend, it not feel tense and so on. Because guess what? You don't have enough stress. You don't have enough stress. Why you are going to come in a session with me and me give you stress? People, when they are stressed, they don't think clearly. They don't absorb any information you are giving to them. You understand? So I create an environment for my clients that you not feel stressed because every time I'm coming up with a plan, whether for myself or for a client to solve a problem, I have to be in a state of calm. I don't know about you, but I can only reach to that, what do I call it now? Essence of solving the problem by being calm and being reflective. That is why when persons are arguing or angry or so on, nobody's hearing anybody. They're not hearing anything. So you cannot have a conversation or you cannot have a problem-solving session and the people are tense. So that is how we do things, right? And my journey is one that I believe that God has put me on this earth to do. A lot of things have come and gone. I've also been in finance, not finance, in insurance. When COVID came, I said, oh, I have to pivot. I have to pivot. So I went into insurance, but I needed to learn the sales side of doing business because from banking, I'm so used to people coming to me. Yes, so so I just thought that when I started the business, or people would come to me and they'd get the results and whatever, but I wasn't doing enough marketing. So now the focus for me and the business is to do more marketing, to be out there, to be everywhere. Be everywhere so that you can get more information and your financial journey can be clear, concise, and practical. All right. This is Tagene, your money coach. Money, 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 money coach. Yep, your money coach. And listen, people, your ability to reach to the next level is limitless. I don't believe in limitations. I don't believe they're all in your mind. My Bible says all things are possible. All things are possible. So when I'm brainstorming what's the next target I want to reach, I come up with some figures. I'm not even going to tell you what the figure is. I'm just going to work towards it. I'm just going to work towards it and say, God, what will be shall be, and just take it from there. When I get the results now, and you see me come in the Forbes magazine in the US or so on, or you get a big write-up in Jamaica, then you will see. But I'm not letting you in on any secret right now. I'm just going to hold my head down and just work towards my goals, my financial goals, my financial dreams, and help my clients, bring them along, mentor them in any way, shape, or form that I can for them to get to the next level. I have clients who are saying, oh, Tagene, the next thing I want to work on is that I want to work towards 100 million 100 million Jamaican. So, all right, darling, that's me. I don't push back on these things because everything has its own thing that is lined up with it. So who it is that you need to become to be able to achieve this dream. So that is how I approach it. Who do you need to become to achieve your goal? Think about that, right? And is it important enough to you to be able to do that? So for personal money management, I'm here. Business people, I'm also here for you. And I also have started to do a lot of AI, chat GPT, and creating some wonderful opportunities for you business owners to help you streamline your business and to take out some of the work. So we want you to work smarter, not harder. Get the structure in for the business and let's get going. 2025, we're in February. But January gone. We don't need to cry about spilt milk. We have a lot of time. Just keep your head down and get going. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Keeping my head down, focusing on my clients, focusing on my marketing, focusing on my sales, and the finance will come. Right? So, guys, I don't know some weird glasses, right? So, so sometimes I have to push up my face.